Yeah, we back. So I was sitting back listening to the live stream from the good brother Pan Africanism Strikes Back, and he brought up an excellent topic that I want to discuss. So not wasting no time, I'm gonna jump into the footage and I'm gonna come back with my commentary. Let's go.
At the end of the day, when you try to reduce stuff down to race, all you're doing is limiting yourself. When you're we gotta be like, bro, you could be all about race first behind the scenes. But when you get out into the greater society and you trying to get shit done, man, you better be a multicultural unicorn. Not saying you got to let them in on the inner workings of what you're trying to do. Not saying they got to be included in the benefits of what you're trying to do. But, dude, when it comes to collecting their money, shit, you better be like, yeah, what's up, bro? It's like running a business.
All right, we back. Now, I understand that might be a polarizing statement, and once you hear it for the first time, it may sound like he's telling you to operate in a colorblind manner, right? Act like race don't exist, act like you don't see color, act like you don't see race, it's the one race, the human race. Nah, that's not what he said. That's not what he said at all. What I heard from my perspective was that he said that you should let your actions speak for you, right? Even on my channel, I said it before, some of the most vocal, some of the most flamboyant people, a lot of the times, it's fraudulent, it's fake, it's artificial, it's not real. But let me frame it in a different way. Think about Bill Clinton, Joe Biden, every president of the United States that ever existed, at least within the last 50 years. But let me focus on Bill Clinton and Joe Biden because to me, they exemplify it the best. In public, Bill Clinton, he isn't going to say anything or do anything that's going to expose him or expose any of his beliefs. Even Joe Biden. When you see Joe Biden, he up in the black church, he out here on the campaign trail, he out here going to this venue, he's going to this state, he's marching with the people, he's hugging, he's kissing babies, he's shaking hands. But we could go to Joe Biden's life story from his birth up through his adolescence and his early adulthood. He grew up in segregation. He grew up when quote unquote white supremacy was the order of the day. That's all he knew. That's what he's seen in his formative years. And I'm sure that shaped the man that he is today. But Joe Biden in the modern day, he's never going to expose that. I'm sure when you get him behind closed doors, behind the curtain, when you're sharing a drink, when he's having casual discussion amongst his friends and his associates, yeah, you're going to get the authentic Joe Biden. They be talking crazy behind the curtain. I guarantee that. They be talking wild shit. But when we out in public though, you see Joe Biden, he moving with the blacks, he moving around, he dancing, he up in the black church talking about, yeah, praise God. You know what I mean? He's doing his thing. He's on the campaign trail. He's making sure that he secures and maintains power. In fact, let me give you another name. Y'all remember Donald Sterling? That owner of the NBA team that got exposed and he lost his position? He was the owner of the LA Clippers for over 30 years. That means over 30 years working directly among black men. And the only reason his true feelings and thoughts got exposed was because somebody in his inner circle had released that information to the media. Without that, nobody would have ever known. A private conversation with his girlfriend was the only reason that we found out that was a big, rich, racist white man. I forget what exactly that he said, but it was a private conversation between him and his girl, and he didn't appreciate the fact that she was congregating amongst black men and possibly getting involved with black men, maybe romantically behind the scenes. I don't know. That was an old, elderly, ancient man. You know, I'm pretty sure he wasn't holding it down in the bedroom like that. So you already know, man. She had to move around the town and find something suitable to jump on. It is what it is, man. In fact, I believe there was an age difference of over 50 years between them. So you already know, man. He wasn't doing shit in the bedroom. But what I think Brandon is trying to say here is we don't got to be out on a microphone, out in public, out with the bullhorn, out on the podium, out in front of the whole audience, talking our shit, letting our feelings be known. Nah, man, move in silence, man. Move in silence. Go behind the curtain. Behind the curtain, it's much more easier to maneuver and navigate. And especially if you're operating in the arena of business. Bro, when it comes to money is green and it all spends the same. When it comes to doing business, we taking money from everybody and anybody. We taking money from the black man, the white man, the Asian man, the Mexican man, and then we're going to reinvest the profit back into shit that we care about. Shit that's going to empower our people. The same thing that all other groups do. The same way the Asians come up in the hood, set up shop, they take your money, they take his money, and they take that money and reinvest it into shit that empowers them as a community. And when you walk into their shop, it's, hi, how you doing? Hi, how you doing? Have a good day. But guess what? Yeah, when you walk out, yeah, they gonna talk their shit behind closed doors, behind the curtain. They gonna let their true feelings be known in the confidence of their associates. And it's the same thing with me, bro. When I'm doing business, when I clock in, when I'm on a job, bro, I'm not pulling out the Amos Wilson books trying to educate the Asians and the white folk. Hell nah, bro. I'm sitting up in there in my suit like, hey, how you doing, man? Yeah, man, I seen the news. Yeah, that's a crazy story. Yeah, man. Yeah. You saw that news story yesterday? Yeah, that's wild, bro. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's a nice day out today. Yeah, yesterday it was raining, man. This shit was wild, bro. Oh, you getting a refill in that prescription? Oh, yeah, got you. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we got it from the doctor yesterday. Yeah, we got it from it's all good, bro. We got it right now coming up. I'll be right there. When you out here doing economic battle, that's not the time to put the black fist up in the air. When we put the black fist up in the air is when we are in our private circles, around our private, our entourage, our associates, our friends, our family. That's when we talk our shit. We crack the bottles open. We crack the cigar open. We start rolling up the weed. We start doing our thing. We having conversations. But when we out in public, we're not going to let it be known. Because once you let it be known, then your cover is blown. You think Donald Sterling is the only one of his archetype? Hell nah, bro. Hell nah. That's more common than you think. But they're intelligent enough to know that, listen, we don't got to let it be known to the public. And going back to my example of American presidents, when it's election season, they come into the black community, dancing, going to the black church. But once they get into power, their entire policy, especially their foreign policy, straight white supremacy up and down. And white supremacy is not a term that I like to use, but you know what I mean, bro. They enact policies that make sure that the European power structure that is currently in place remains in place. But they're not going to come out on TV and the public airwaves and tell you, yes, I want the Western European nations and all their descendants to remain economically and politically dominant across the world. They don't got to grab the microphone and let it be known through a grand proclamation. Bro, they let it be known through their actions and their policies and what they put their resources and money behind. They'll never come out in public and say, I want my people to remain in the position of power for eternity. No, they're just going to work behind the scenes to make sure that's a reality. And in my opinion, I believe that's what Brandon was talking about. He was telling black men to operate in a sophisticated manner, not to be a colorblind idiot who doesn't see race. And when you're doing business, put that race shit to the side. Let's get this money. Let's get this power. Let's get this wealth. And once we get the money, then we're going to put the money to good use that empowers us. That puts us in a better position. In my opinion, a good example of this is Robert Smith. Y'all remember Robert Smith when he paid off the student loan debt of an entire graduating class at Morehouse? I believe it was something in the range of $35 million. Straight cash. See, Robert Smith don't got to do too much talking. Now, me personally, I'm establishing my platform as a media personality, someone who gives commentary. So yeah, every day, day in and day out, I'm going to be speaking on topics that relate to our people. And that's also part of establishing power, because these big rich men, you don't think they back certain media platforms that push their agenda, that push their talking points, that push their line of thinking, that push their ideology? Behind the scenes, they support the platforms that support their worldview. That's why when you look on TV, you see CNN pushes a narrative and Fox News pushes a narrative. And a big reason why that is because the ones who are supporting them up high financially, economically, they use them as an arm of propaganda to push their ideology to the masses. So instead of them getting on the microphone and having to push the shit, they get a talking head put on a suit and he pushes the shit for a paycheck. So instead of me having to say the shit, Tucker Carlson gets to say the shit. Or instead of me having to say the shit, Anderson Cooper gets to say the shit. But as long as the message gets out there, that's all that matters. And don't get it twisted, media is absolutely an arm of propaganda and part of power. And that's a big reason why I made my YouTube channel. But yeah, man, in summary, I think what Brandon was trying to say is black men got to operate with a level of sophistication, especially if you're active in the arena of business or politics. Sophistication is a must. So yeah, man, I don't think he was telling us to be a sellout or anything like that. I heard it a completely different way, and I believe I understand what he was trying to say. But yeah, man, anyways, it's your boy Neferkari, that's Salim, back in the building. Yes, indeed. Like, share, subscribe, Cash App in the description. And I'm gone. Peace.
Reincarnated, I'm back in original fashion. I left on a horse and came back in that ass, and I left with abundance and came back to famine. We used to be pyramids, now we be rapping. Look how the mighty have fallen. Used to be running, now we be walking. When you be cooning, that's when they applauded. Selling your soul, your sons and your daughter. Gotta come up in this shit, they stuck in the mix. Really, my heart it be breaking. That's why I'm stacking that paper and handle my business. Pass it down in generation. Talking about money and power and building a nation. That's a deadly combination. Never be watching the TV, they pushing agendas, falsifying information. Know they got malice intentions. Step in the room and I'm feeling the tension. Enemy watching me blocking my vision. Pay for the check cause I need my redemption. Building my kingdom, I need it protected. Ready for war like a young money Congo. Never decided the team is the motto. Up in the crib and I'm whipping up waffles. Up in the crib and I'm smoking gelato. I'm chilling, I'm taking my pain and make it ambition. I'm blessed by the gods, but I ain't religious. I came for the power, they came for the bitch. They making no hourly wage, I got business. This shit is an art and they could never be taught. Selling my soul, I can never be bought. Play with my money, I see you ain't caught. Run to the check and I do it for sport. Babylon falling, I go to the source. Packing my luggage and go overseas. Shorty be with me and she so at least. Shorty be chocolate, I'm calling her Hershey. Secret intelligence probably gon' murk me. Don't fuck with brands cause nigga I'm Haitian. Say the wrong shit and you're smacking their faces.